The Hathors. What you focus on becomes. We are honored to have this opportunity to share these words and to recognize you for your magnificent courage. This is not always an easy dimension to incarnate into. However, it is a dimension of 1,000 possibilities. You, together with all the other physical/divine beings who have chosen to incarnate, are here playing in this reality, in this hologame, in this illusion, as creators of all that is presented and depicted. As we observe the chaos, the polarized events that attract everyone's attention, we invite you to be aware of where you focus your energy. Remember that, in your physical position, you, as well as everyone else, are divine creators. However, most Earthwalkers are not aware of invoking, asking, and creating through their own words, vibrations, and what they focus their attention on. Your thoughts, your words, your intentions, your worries, your emotional vibrations constantly interact with the quantum field. So, in these forms you are always asking. The quantum field, the universe, always responds, granting your request. Now multiply this process by all the divine beings in human form, and you can begin to perceive why this reality has so many divergent and various viewpoints and opinions. From our observation of those who are incarnated here in your reality, most are not aware of creating what they are experiencing. A divine being decides to manifest a physical form in this dimension. When a sensitive and empathic divine being assumes a physical form, it automatically adapts to the dimensional field it has entered. This dimension has a strong field of unconscious limitations. Therefore, all your awareness and divine abilities can be, and often are, repressed by this unconscious field. Children are still connected with their divine awareness. They perceive things, feel things that they might not express in words, or often, if they share what they see or feel, they are invalidated by the adults around them. Over time, the child will lose touch with the gifts and abilities they were born with. The first one that is usually invalidated is imagination, which, by the way, is one of the most powerful gifts as divine beings. Children begin to tune into the energy and even absorb it from those around them, even in the womb or from the closest people they live with. All the vibrations and emotional patterns are transferred in this way. The vibrations of thought forms and emotional patterns are transferred from person to person. There is no judgment, only awareness. So, from these vibrations of misinformation, limited perceptions, and wrong or negative energy, patterns and habits are created. A physical being creates from the energy field of who they believe they are. They create from the patterns of their personal wounds, intense experiences, abuse, abandonment, insecurities, and so on. Therefore, from this perspective, you gain a broader understanding of those who judge or condemn themselves. If a human being acts based on all these distorted patterns and wounds, they are creating distorted realities. This is what you are witnessing here right now on your planet. From our observation, this planet has transformed dysfunction into an art form. So now we speak to you as the multidimensional, aware, and awakened divine being that you are. You have emerged from dysfunctional patterns. You are aware of your ability to transform the negative energy you encounter. You are recognizing your limiting thoughts and behaviors and transforming them. We applaud the personal work you have done and continue to do. When each human being remembers, associates with, and strengthens their divine self, they contribute to the collective good, anchoring a new reality that supports life, every time. We can understand, observing the tragic and horrible events that happen daily, how difficult it is to maintain a minimum of hope for change or transformation. When we hear news of mass extinction and global warming occurring more rapidly than many had predicted or foreseen, we can understand our sense of despair and powerlessness. However, we remind you that you are powerful beyond measure. There is an incredibly vast number of awakened beings on your planet, more than you can imagine. We assure you that, in addition to you, there are legions of humans who know who they are and who are here to transform and elevate the consciousness of this planet. You are not alone in your work or service. Even in the midst of every despair, discouragement, or sense of futility, there are divine seeds of hope and transformation always ready to be activated. You and other awakened beings carry these seeds of hope with you. As conscious and aware beings, you have known much better worlds and realities. As powerful multidimensional beings, you have also contributed to transforming other realities on the timeline, as well as in other dimensions and galactic fields. This is not your first mission. You are the steward, the sacred keeper of the codes of the seeds of hope. It is that frequency, that vibration that you carry with you and that you anchor to your most divine understanding of who you are. Imagine, in the way that feels most appropriate for you, the ways in which you can energetically plant these seeds of hope in the field of collective consciousness. You can spend time in silence imagining what miracle or good thing can be born from a negative event. You can imagine a reality that supports life for all. You can imagine that methods are discovered that purify and cleanse the air and water of your planet. You can help others connect with nature in a real and healing way. When you witness despair, counteract those vibrations with a clear wave of your hope that the best and better will unfold. Realize that together you can truly transform what is perceived as negative. Remember that you are a master of energy, a transformer of energy. Use your tools of awareness and imagination as the wonderful alchemist that you are. You are here to elevate the consciousness of this planet. You are here to support the ascension of consciousness to the higher dimensions of true unity. You are here to anchor a new reality. You are here to seed this experience, this dimension, with vibrations and patterns of gratitude, appreciation, and hope. In your imagination, allow yourself to experience the realities that can and will be born from the energetic seeds you plant. Your focused attention and focused imagination are the nourishment these code seeds need to germinate and emerge. Always remember, in the darkest hour, at the last second, that transformation and change are possible and can happen. Continue to care for and nourish the seeds of hope and plant them in this experience and in the collectivity, as well as in everything you encounter and know. Remember that what you focus on becomes. We honor and recognize you for your ability and your divine capacities to transform realities. We are always available upon your request, as are all other non-physical luminous beings of love. We await the invitation to assist and support you in your seeding. The team, #1/1/1 Gateway in 2026 in December, we moved further into the cosmic flow and etheric blocks were released from the heart, bringing us to a sense of deeper attunement with the cosmic heart and the divine feminine. This shook the collectivity, particularly the shadow masculine, which responded with some acts of violence in the world around the solstice. Tragically, this happens when more light arrives from cosmic events to bring humanity to the next level. As a result, you may have experienced an increase in ascension symptoms and a physical, mental, and emotional downward spiral. Now, after the healing of the solstice shadow, most people are recovering and embodying a greater lightness of being, so you may experience fleeting moments or be more in tune with hope, love, play, and joy, allowing you to fall in love with your human life again, appreciating the time your soul still has in the body. Or you may still be fighting the remnants of the shadow. Or both. Life events can mirror this or push to engage in this way, especially during the Christmas holidays. When we positively align with the flow of the divine feminine as the energy of creation, our receptivity, sensitivity, intuition, inner wisdom, creativity, playfulness, care, compassion, flow, and adaptability increase, as well as our connection with all, collaboration with others, and embodiment of clear senses, presence, and being. The body is still adjusting to this month's intense soul expansion and 10th chakra purification, so you may have to struggle with fatigue, chest heaviness, nasal/throat/chest congestion, digestive disturbances, slow intestines, bloating, vivid dreams, waves of pain, malaise, anxiety, need to sleep more, mental fogging, aches, viral/immune issues, addiction issues, skin problems. See my December Ascension update for more information. As we strive to connect to a higher version of reality and the higher self, our body and mind are stressed and need time to adjust. Creative energy is building as we conclude 2025, starting with the 1/1/1 portal, the most powerful portal of 2026. It activates new beginnings, changes, opportunities, and independence. It is the beginning of a new 9-year cycle, of new projects and relationships, of trusting our instinct and planting seeds for future success. 2026 is the year of initiation, leadership, and the need for courageous and inspired actions. What you imagine, think, and say gains power once you pass through this portal. #Life Tapestry Creations. It's so easy. The world is rapidly becoming sweeter and gentler, in ways you probably wouldn't have predicted. You probably believed you were fundamental in Earth's transition from fear to love. Although you initially had the task of opening new possibilities, you and your small group of like-minded Earth angels could not change Earth without an enormous push from those who once felt the need to remain in the third dimension. This transition began with a few Earth angels, like you. You and your friends, who have gone through the transition for months, even decades, have been the initiators. Minute by minute, others are joining the transition parade. At the same time, those few who now wish to remain in 3D are becoming increasingly dramatic and cruel, fearing the loss of their outward-directed power. A cruelty that is pushing more and more human beings toward their transition. The world is rapidly becoming sweeter and gentler, in ways you probably wouldn't have predicted. You probably believed you were fundamental in Earth's transition from fear to love. Although you initially had the task of opening new possibilities, You and your small group of like-minded Earth angels could not change Earth without an enormous push from those who once felt the need to remain in the third dimension. This transition began with a few Earth angels, like you. You and your friends, who have gone through the transition for months, even decades, have been the initiators. Minute by minute, others are joining the transition parade. At the same time, those few who now wish to remain in 3D are becoming increasingly dramatic and cruel, fearing the loss of their outward-directed power. A cruelty that is pushing more and more human beings toward their transition. Most of Earth's religions originated from a few people seeking a radical departure from what was expected. So it is now. The difference is that this change is not limited to a single segment of Earth's population, as has been true for Earth's various religions. It is the totality of Earth accepting and expecting love rather than fear. Those who refuse to change will become increasingly obsolete, just like those who refuse to switch from horse-drawn carriages to automobiles. This transition is happening minute by minute, rather than over months, years, decades, or centuries, as happened in the past. The work of those of you on the front lines has accelerated this change in ways you will never understand. Just know that three-dimensional cruelty will become more evident, pushing more and more human beings to seek love rather than fear. This transition is a wave of change, not a slow loss, as has happened for the various religious groups that now dominate the actions of many people on Earth. Initially, love was the dominant 3D religious theme, because the pain caused by those who had outward-directed power stimulated new thoughts and actions. Unfortunately, many religions eventually shifted toward outward-directed power, coinciding with the 3D fear that has enveloped Earth for eons. Although some will attempt to recreate group thinking through new religions or groups, most people in transition will find organized religions and groups too limiting. Organized activities usually limit individual expression and interest. Something exactly opposite to those in transition. You have explored group thinking and action for eons. It is time to discover who you are as an individual. Thus, most religions will change focus or disperse. Perhaps this concept frightens you. But within a few days, you will understand why a particular 3D philosophy no longer meets your needs. We of the universes also wish to address the media advertising comments that promote the 3D philosophy that sex, murder, and fear sell copies and eyes. With the transition of more and more beings, media that do not shift attention from fear to love will follow the same path as the horse and carriage, as well as those who insist that fear and pain are the focus of their world. It is over. You are a new being, as are the millions of people who begin their transition every day. There is no need for you to be a focal point or leader, just as there is no need for the various religions that are discovering the need to adapt to this new world. All that you and anyone else need to do or be is yourselves. Don't worry about what others do or don't do. Don't feel the need to preach to others about this new world. And most importantly, don't feel the need to slow down or wait for others to catch up with you. This new Earth is fully formed and supported by more and more things every day, without you having to focus on what should be instead of what is. Crowd or group control is over. Exploring your interests is your new, fun role, as for every human being on Earth. Don't fret. Don't worry. It's really as easy as exploring anything you find interesting. And so it is. So be it. Amen. ## Universal Completion 9 of 2025. The completion portal *. Many are currently experiencing intensified energies as the ascension process accelerates. This can manifest with extreme physical fatigue, sleep disturbances, vivid dreams, emotional waves, hypersensitivity, mental fogging, questioning multiple areas of life, a strong need for solitude and rest. Old memories, fears, and unresolved patterns can emerge suddenly as the system eliminates what can no longer be carried forward. These symptoms are not setbacks, but signs of deep processing, as the nervous system, emotional body, and energy field recalibrate to higher frequencies and release obsolete programming. At the same time, the metaphysical system is being refined to contain more light and awareness in preparation for the conscious energies of the new Earth of 2026. Alignment is in place now and is a necessity for conscious new Earth life, allowing higher levels of consciousness to anchor more fully in the physical body. This acceleration supports greater clarity, stronger intuition, and a deeper sense of inner truth. As ascendants integrate these changes, they prepare to embody their expanded state with stability, sovereignty, and purpose, allowing transformation to unfold with greater ease and coherence. Developing unconditional love, from an ascension perspective, does not mean sacrificing oneself, staying silent, or tolerating any form of harm, disrespect, or repeated cycles of misalignment. It is the opposite. Love is the ability to nurture compassion while remaining firmly anchored in self-respect, truth, and healthy boundaries. As many continue to awaken, there will be greater awareness of others' words, behaviors, and established patterns, making it much more difficult to ignore what is out of alignment. Before January 1st, unresolved dynamics may accelerate, not to overwhelm, but to be seen clearly and released. This intense year-end energy will bring attention to letting go of false programmed beliefs about love and a deeper embodiment of unconditional love, which honors self-creation, respects energy, and allows relationships to exist in truth and acceptance rather than distortion and obligation. With the rapid conclusion of 2025, many of those ascending may notice a strong sense of completion, accompanied by an inner reorganization. Energetically, this universal planetary 9 energy is reaching the peak of its intensity. It is activating a deeper integration in ascension, rather than a rapid forward movement, which can be perceived as emotional purification, increased sensitivity, a desire to simplify life and move away from external noise. The metaphysical systems of body and mind are recalibrating to stabilize higher frequencies, allowing obsolete beliefs, attachments, and timelines to dissolve naturally. What those ascending can expect in the coming days is a deeper purification from their past identity, a stronger sense of inner truth, clearer boundaries, and an expansion in conscious alignment with the direction of inner guidance, now creating a more solid foundation for the expanded energies of the new earth that will fully activate in the year to come for many. With the year closing under the influence of the Universal 9, the energies of completion, release, and resolution are being strongly amplified. Anything unresolved, emotionally, mentally, or energetically, will present itself more clearly through stronger signals, repeated patterns, or greater inner awareness, to activate necessary closures. The closing energy of the Universal 9 will highlight areas that need self-conscious abandonment, clearing karmic threads and obsolete cycles so they are not dragged forward. This intensified period of completion prepares Ascension to enter safely into a completely new universal numerical cycle, without weights, aligned and ready to embody higher levels of consciousness with greater clarity, self-awareness, and ease. In loving and devoted service of Ascension, from Ascension Lightworkers. #Pleiadian Council of Light. This is Dismantling Your Perceptions. Greetings, my dear ones. We are the Pleiadian Council of Light. It is always wonderful to connect with all of you. Thank you for this transmission. Many profound truths have emerged in these recent times. Truths that a significant number of individuals find uncomfortable or even distressing to face. These revelations challenge and, in many cases, can completely dismantle the established perceptions of reality, to which many have clung for most of their lives. The discomfort stems from the fact that accepting these truths requires a fundamental shift in understanding, which can feel disorienting and threatening. Through this channel, we have shared numerous insights and revelations that can be difficult to accept or even comprehend for many. The very nature of these truths can create a sense of cognitive dissonance, a psychological conflict that occurs when a person holds two or more contradictory beliefs, values, or ideas. This inner struggle can cloud the ability to discern what is true, complicating the perception of the world around them. Those among you who resonate with the higher frequencies of light and higher consciousness must cultivate patience and compassion for your fellow beings during this tumultuous period. For many, this awakening is sudden and perceived almost as an abrupt shock to their system, forcing them to confront aspects of reality they may have long ignored or rejected. As further revelations emerge, these will continue to awaken humanity, leading to liberation from the influences of the archontic forces, which we have revealed to you, as negative vibrational entities that seek to manipulate and control human consciousness. The Lightworkers, starseeds, and those on the path of awakening are beginning to step forward with increasing clarity and determination. Even if they are not sure of their exact role or the reasons for their actions, there is a palpable sense of urgency and an inner call that pushes them to expand their consciousness and seek truth. This call is a deeply personal journey, but contributes to a collective movement toward greater understanding and revelation for humanity. It is a confirmation of the tireless work that many of you have done, anchoring the light in your realities and contributing to the broader tapestry of spiritual awakening. By assuming your roles, you become channels for truth, facilitating the emergence of knowledge that resonates deeply in the collective consciousness. This process is essential for humanity's evolution, as it allows individuals to recognize and claim their innate power, fostering a sense of unity and connection. The journey ahead may still be fraught with challenges, but it is also rich with immense potential for your growth, healing, and transformation. The unveiling of these truths is a crucial moment for humanity as a whole, guiding you toward a brighter and more enlightened future for all. It is fundamental to understand that the path of awakening is not just a solitary undertaking. Rather, it is a shared experience that unites individuals in a common quest for enlightenment. Now you are returning to unity. As more people awaken to these truths, they will be drawn to communities and networks that support their spiritual growth. These connections can offer a refuge for those facing the complexities of their awakening journey, providing a space for dialogue, healing, and mutual encouragement. Furthermore, the emergence of these truths often catalyzes a ripple effect, inspiring others to question their own beliefs and assumptions. This collective questioning can lead to broader social change, as individuals begin to challenge obsolete paradigms and imagine new possibilities for the future. The awakening process can be compared to a series of waves, each building on the previous one, creating powerful momentum that propels humanity toward greater awareness and understanding. As you move forward, it is essential to remain open to the insights and wisdom that emerge from this period of transformation. Embracing the unknown and allowing yourself to be guided by your inner light can lead to extraordinary discoveries and breakthroughs. Each step taken along this path not only contributes to individual growth but also paves the way for a collective awakening that has the potential to reshape the very fabric of your existence. This journey is about reclaiming your power, accepting your true self, and working as a team to create a unified world that reflects your highest light. We love you and are here with you. We are the Pleiadian Council of Light. #Thymus, the collective of ascended masters, the solar flash and the 3 days of darkness. Are they coming? Blessings. We are Thymus. We are the collective of ascended masters. We are truly happy to be with you at this time and to be able to express ourselves to you in every possible way. Of course, many of us have left teachings on Earth for you to study and explore, and we can do this through channelers like this one here as we are doing now. And we are very happy to give you the latest teachings. We know that many of you think all this is quite complicated, quite complex, and that it is necessary to do X, Y, and Z to activate all your DNA, have a light body and ascend. Many of you believe you must awaken the Kundalini and chant, pray, or meditate for a certain number of hours a day. Some of you think it's about yoga, being vegan, or earthing. You did not come into a physical human body to obey a set of rules that would then take you to the promised land. You came because you are a necessary component of the shift in consciousness, and it is important that you be there. And this means that following a set of rigid guidelines will only hinder the guidance that is emerging within you naturally, easily, and effortlessly. You are receiving guidance, and if you think you are not receiving it, it is because you are looking in the wrong places, or you are looking only in one or two specific places. Guidance comes in many different ways, shapes, and sizes, and when you stop if you are not receiving any guidance, guess what? What you are doing at that moment is perfect as it is. You don't always have to do, perform, produce. Sometimes your life simply consists of being, appreciating, and enjoying. And when you allow it to be so, the guidance, the inspired idea, the impulse, the intuition will come, and they will come unexpectedly, perhaps even in a way you didn't think was possible. You can receive guidance in so many different ways, and the guidance you receive right now is much more relevant to you than a to-do and not-to-do list that we could have given you thousands of years ago and that we could have printed in books forever. We want you to understand that you know who you truly are and, therefore, you know you are always connected to that higher part of you. You are always that higher part of you, and you can perceive this as you calm down, withdraw within yourself, and stop looking for rules to follow outside of yourself. Of course, it is the mind that overly complicates things and tells you that you must wait for a solar flash, 3 days of darkness, a financial collapse, the end of all artificial intelligence, or some other series of events that must occur for you to reach the next level of your consciousness. It is not so. You are all proceeding gradually, step by step, day by day, and each of you counts. What you do, think, and say matters, and we want you to believe in yourselves enough to let go of what others tell you to do or should do, so that you can listen, perceive, and know the guidance that comes to you every day, in some way, shape, or form. Again, if you are not receiving any, then the guidance is what you are doing, it is perfect as it is. Don't worry. Don't think you need to do anything more than this, and relax because more will come, and it will come at the right time. That is all for now. We are Thymus. We are the collective of ascended masters and we are always among you.